Professor Ray here, and today we have a follow-up video to the syringe and hypodermic needle. As you may recall, I did the syringe and hypodermic needle as an invention that changed the world. The syringe is this glass part, and when this plunger is pulled out, it pulls material up into the syringe. Then a hypodermic needle can be inserted, the plunger pushed in, and it injects the material into the person. So one of my college classmates, a fellow named Karl H. Betz, who also happens to like snakes, watched that video. And as it turns out, Karl works at a zoo, and he gets to work with the reptiles and the snakes especially. So he had a pet rosy boa that he kept for 32 years until it passed away. And he's always been into snakes and reptiles. So he watched the video and he said, you know, in nature, venomous snakes have natural hypodermic needles. Would you like some snake fangs? And I said, well, I'm fresh out of snake fangs, so why don't you go ahead and send me some? Well, he turns out he did. And they're gathered quite humanely because venomous snakes shed their fangs, much like they shed their skin. So you can get snake fangs without bothering the snake. So what he did, he sent a couple to me. And I thought I would first explain how does a venomous snake work. Well, it has venom glands up in the head, and it's got the fangs. The venom glands serve as the syringe part, the fangs serve as the hypodermic needle, and the muscles in the head serve as the plunger. So when the snake bites, the fangs go in, the muscles contract, and the venom is sent through the fangs into the victim. So he sent me a couple, and I thought I would go ahead and show those to you. The first one comes from Central and South America. It's a snake called a Bushmaster. And the particular one that he got this one from, he said was 4.5 feet long. And here is the fang, and I'll do a zoom close-up of this. So the Bushmaster fang, if I measure it, is slightly over a 1/2 inch long. So if you can imagine this 1/2 inch fang, two of them, embedding into you, that would be like 2 hypodermic needles hitting you at the same time. And these fangs are hollow and have a little hole at the tip, so when the gland compresses, the venom comes out, goes through the hole, and comes out through the end of the fang. So the Bushmaster, like I said, is found in Central and South America. It's in forested areas. They can grow up to 10 feet long. Fortunately, there's not too many encounters with humans because of where they live. But the next one he sent me was really interesting because it's probably, I think, the most unusual looking venomous snake that's out there. It's called the Gaboon Viper. And Gaboon Vipers have really large fangs. They can be up to 2 inches long. And to put that in perspective, if I hold this hypodermic needle up and I measure it out, this hypodermic needle is 1.5 inches long. So if you can imagine a fang coming out to 2 inches long and have 2 of those, that's what a Gaboon Viper has. So they live in the sub-Sahara, in Africa, in the rainforest, and in the savannas. They don't get really big. They can get up to 4 or 5 foot long, but they are very, very heavily bodied. So he sent me then the Gaboon Viper fang. And it's quite a bit bigger than the Bushmaster fang. And this is a small one. This one measures to be about 7/8 of an inch long. Remember, this can get up to 2 inches long. So if you imagine it coming out about that far, that would be a really, really nasty fang. So interesting thing about the Gaboon Viper, it has the second highest venom output of any snake. Only the king cobra outputs more venom in a bite than the Gaboon Viper. I've had a chance to see both of these snakes. You can see them typically in the zoo, and I've actually been to places that extract the venom to make anti-venom. And it's really neat to see that when they take the Gaboon Viper and they go to extract it, a lot of venom comes out. So just wanted to share that with you. Venomous snakes, they have the fangs. They're basically nature's version of hypodermic needles. So here we have the fang of a Bushmaster, and here is a fang of a somewhat small Gaboon Viper, and here is our hypodermic needle. They work the same way. The venom, the material comes out through the hypodermic needle. The venom comes out through the fangs, which are hollow. And as I mentioned, the Gaboon Viper, this one is about 7/8 of an inch. They can grow to be 2 inches. So if you can imagine the fang going from here out to here, and 2 of those fangs in a snake packs quite a punch when it comes to venom and how deep it can put it into a person or whatever victim happens to bite.